The biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I love me some Freebird, JJ. I always loved this song growing up. I always loved this song growing up. It went to another level when I was in college, avoiding assignments and playing Guitar Hero. Right? This sounds like,
yes,
to me,
we all had fun playing this song.
I can picture myself in my Provo apartment.
This in More Than a Feeling, Boston.
Yeah, and it's like, I'll get to that paper in a minute. and my roommates and I clickety clacking on that little fake guitar.
Raise up your goblets of rock.
I know how to shred, I think. Okay.
Yeah.
When you watch those guys, if you ever watch, not that I've ever gone on YouTube and searched it up myself.
Of course not.
The guys who are like at the times 10 level of, I don't know what's going on. We've got to convert that into something of use to the human race so that we got to tap into that resource.
Fake guitar players?
Just how fast and accurate they are, like the hand-eye coordination.
It's not a real guitar. What's the talent here?
Clickety-clack.
It's
hand-eye coordination.
It's fake talent.
Look, you plug in and you hook it up at a concert and you go, can I step in here, guys? You get it from over the shoulder.
Just because you've played 10,000 hours of Guitar Hero and you've mastered it doesn't mean you're talented.
Hey, plug me in over there, guys. Ooh, my red button seems a little bit off. Can you guys? All right. Welcome to the program. Let's kick things off here. Let's talk some hockey. And, of course, nobody better than to talk about hockey with us than our own Utah Mammoth insider for KSLSports.com. It's Cole Bagley. Let's kick off the program right now.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The cut this hour brought to you by Tradesman Wealth, TRAJAN Wealth.com, TradesmanWealth.com for all your trusted local needs in retirement. And Cole Bagley joins us on the program as he does on a weekly basis here. And we're having a lot of fun watching these tournaments, Cole. And I was watching that game on Saturday. I was frustrated to see Team USA down 2-1 with a wild, weird goal that Denmark scored, and I didn't like the way it was going. Suddenly they poured on in the second period, and they put them away with a 6-3 win. But that felt a little dicey to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing for the United States right now is, through those first two games, it felt like they were still kind of figuring each other out. They made some new additions to the team. They had some guys playing that were not part of their not part of the roster during Four Nations, and so I was not pleased with those either. I mean, I feel like that goal that Swayman gave up near center ice was just kind of pathetic and unacceptable. Yeah. But the thing that the United States has going for them right now is they're basically an all-star team. They're the second best team at this tournament, just minimally behind Canada. And teams are having a tough time skating with them once they get into the second and third periods. And we've seen that through all three games. We, especially saw that against Germany. The United States just kind of started to turn it up because, similar to Canada, every single player for the most part on this United States roster is an all-star level type player. And, when you're going 60 minutes, those guys are going to wear you down. Not only with, how good they are individually, but as a team, because they move the puck incredibly well, all four lines, offensively, and, of course, all three defensive pairings. Any of those guys can burn you and light up the scoreboard. So, yeah, it wasn't a great start necessarily to the tournament, but they started to figure things out against Germany, and I think if they can continue to play that way and build upon how they approach that game, they'll have a chance to not only play for gold, but I think to give Canada a run for their money.
Well, now it's single elimination. Things get serious, and their opponent in the quarterfinals is Sweden. I don't think you could draw a tougher 7 seed than Sweden. Does Sweden have a chance to upset the Americans in the quarterfinals?
They sure do. Guys like William Nylander and Gabriel Landeskog and a handful of other really, really talented NHL players on this team. It's the knockout stages, right? Like, you have one bad period or you have a bad start and suddenly you're trailing 2-0. Yeah, I mean, a team like Sweden absolutely has the firepower and the means to knock off the United States. And, I still am not fully convinced at this point that we are going to get a gold medal game between the United States and Canada, because teams like Sweden and Finland, they look dangerous. And one bad puck bounce, one missed shift, and you're going home. So United States, I mean, it's almost like a trap game. Like this is a dangerous team that they're going to have to take really seriously, and if they want to win, they're going to have to play their best hockey of the tournament so far.
I think they said there was one guy on all of Sweden's roster that's not in the NHL. And these guys, I look at Nylander and I'm going, oh, this guy, man. And they were getting chippy against Latvia today. JJ and I were watching it just as we came in the studio. It was ending, and they were not letting up. Like, it was 4-1 with like a minute left, and or with like 2 minutes left, and they're like, don't care. We're going to still keep punching in. They punch in a fifth goal, and they are really good. The quality of hockey at this tournament has just been really, really good so far. Canada, who did they hang the 10 spot on this weekend? It was 10-2. I can't. It's escaping me who they lost or who they beat.
It was France.
It was France. 10-2. They look like the bad guys in the Mighty Ducks movies.
Yeah, they're basically the Monstars. Like all of their lines are just insanely good. I mean, you've got to deal with Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, Brad Marchand. Like, the list just goes on and on. Mitch Marner, like Braden Point. I mean, it legitimately is. This might be the best Olympic team to ever take the ice in the history of the Olympics.
Wow.
Is Team Canada. They are that good. And I do think that we are on a pretty solid trajectory for USA and Canada. But if that ends up being the case, the United States are the underdogs in that scenario. Not significant, but it would take an upset for the USA to win gold.
When you look at that matchup, well, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we can get away with that because we're not involved directly.
Hey, they're the ones who filmed all the commercials that are basically
That's
just
true.
us versus them.
Okay, fair enough.
Kind of deal. So there you go.
If we do see a Canada-USA matchup, obviously Canada has more firepower than anybody, but their weakness is probably defensively and in between the pipes, right? USA seems to be completely opposite. Is that why you believe the U.S. built their roster the way they did so they can counter that just incredibly powerful offensive attack that Canada has? Do you think that played into their decision-making with the roster?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely where the United States has an advantage. Their defense is a lot better than Canada's defense, and so is their goaltending. I mean, I'm not going to talk about Swayman anymore, but I think, with Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger as your 1-2 punch in net to the United States, and then defensively, to have guys like Quinn Hughes and Charlie McAvoy and what have you, Zach Werenski, like, the United States is significantly at an advantage defensively, which is good because you are facing an onslaught of offensive talent every single shift. Doesn't matter if it's, lines 1 through 4, any of those lines can hurt you. And so to have it locked down defensively is a huge advantage for the Americans. And then, of course, to have Connor Hellebuck bailing you out as the last line of defense. Offensively, they're not too far behind Canada, but, when you're looking at these things on paper, it's certainly an advantage for the Canadians up front. So, yeah, I do like how this Team USA roster is constructed. It was exciting to see Clayton Keller get into the game the other day, and he's projected to play against Sweden tomorrow. So we'll see how things go. But like I said, the United States just has to keep building on the way that they played Germany. Yeah,
how did you think that Clayton Keller did in the 10 minutes he got first time on the ice for the games? He looked pretty dang solid.
Yeah, he played his tail off. He came in with fresh legs. He came in with, a chip on his shoulder and something to prove, and he played his game. Mammoth fans are very familiar with his style, which is, he's a facilitator, right? I think he's one of the elite maestros in the National Hockey League, the way that he's able to, just possess the puck very confidently. He never seems rattled. He had really good zone entries. He had good, possessions in the O zone. And then, he didn't register a point on Tage Thompson's goal, but he made that goal possible. He had a strong zone entry. He got a shot on net. He helped, the team and the offense reload the puck. And then what he did is he went and he battled right in front of the net. He drew 2 German defensemen, opened up the lane, and then Tage blasted one right on frame, and it ends up in the back of the net. So, yeah, I am not surprised whatsoever that Keller, is projected to stay in the lineup. I think that Kyle Connor has just kind of been a little bit of a dud on that line. That's who he replaced. He just hasn't been invested. Whereas, Keller is a very, very, very competitive guy. It's one of those things that with professional athletes, there's your star players and there's your elite star players. And I think the separation is how competitive are those dudes, right? Your Kobe Bryants, your Michael Jordans, your LeBron James. Clayton Keller has that level of competitiveness, within him. And so, yeah, he played well, and I'm hoping that those projections hold true and that we see him playing again for the Stars and Stripes tomorrow.
Well, for Mammoth fans that can't wait to see their team back on the ice, we're only 8 days away from that. And when they come back, it looks like they're going to get some guys back. You were at practice today, and what's the latest on the injury situation?
Yeah, so again, just kind of baby steps, but taking, we're now into the significant steps towards making a return. Both Kerfoot and Cooley were out on the ice this afternoon in full contact sweaters, and they were definitely playing full contact. Nick DeSimone laid a pretty good hit on Logan Cooley right in front of me. So yeah, they're full contact right now. I was able to ask Andre Tourney, are they fully cleared? He said, no, not quite yet, but they are cleared for full contact. They're just not game ready. But I assume that over these next 8 days, again, it's kind of baby steps. They want to make sure that they take all the right precautions and everything. But yeah, I would anticipate that those guys are going to be ready to go, and that's a significant boost. And as well, Cooley was playing, and you got to take these things with a grain of salt because they don't have the complete roster right now. They actually called up about 4 or 5 guys from Tucson just to make sure that they had a full skate today. So take it with a grain of salt, but Cooley was skating on a line consistently with Jack McBain and Dylan Gunther. That goes back to the Coyotes days. They played a little bit together, and I think last year they may have had a few games together. So we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, it continues to trend in a positive way.
I mean, the return is kind of crazy too because these guys coming back from a major international tournament, and then you come right home, and then you have to face the Avalanche the first night back. And to me, every team's dealing with this, right? Dealing with this. They've got guys who are playing in the Olympics on every NHL roster, basically. And so does it – I mean, just because we haven't seen it for a minute, does it take a minute for all the guys who were playing in the tournament to kind of come back to earth, so to speak, on their regular NHL team? Yeah,
especially, expecting that the United States and Canada are going to keep pushing through towards the gold. I mean, Colorado – their 2 best players are on Team Canada. There's a good chance. And I mean, I'll be shocked if Canada is not playing for gold. And so you're going to have Nathan McKinnon and Kel McCarr exhausting themselves for their country for, 2 straight weeks and then come back to the NHL, and play a Mammoth team that's very well rested. I mean, Karel Vejmelka hasn't even touched Olympic ice. I don't expect him to. JJ Peterka has, played some strong minutes for Germany, but I would anticipate that their Olympic run will be coming to an end here pretty quickly in the knockout stages. And then, Keller's only played 9 minutes. And so, Utah's going to catch, some of these teams. They play the Wild shortly after the Avalanche, and the Wild also have 4 of their top players playing at the Olympics. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good time for the Mammoth to catch those teams. Maybe they can catch them a little tired, a little exhausted, and, use that to their advantage.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that the Avalanche would bring those top players 3 or 4 days after a gold medal game to Salt Lake City for that initial game. So that could work out pretty well.
Oh, it's tough. We wish them the best.
Yeah.
We wish them the best.
Yeah. So looking ahead, though, I think the next date or the next big thing in the NHL is going to be that trade deadline on March 5th. I don't know what the scuttlebutt is or what you're hearing, but do you expect Utah to be a buyer at the trade deadline or to be very active at that deadline?
Yeah, I'd expect them to be active. I think Bill Armstrong will continue to have the mindset that he always has. He's always looking to make this team better. That's his job. He wakes up every day looking for new avenues and looking for ways that he can help improve this team. And I would expect them to definitely be more active than we saw a year ago. At the deadline, they were just offloading contracts last year. They didn't do a whole lot, but this year, it's different, right? Like they're on the cusp of making, the Stanley Cup playoffs. They put themselves in the top wild card spot. They're going to get Cooley and Kerfoot back, and they're reaching a point in the rebuild where they've got too many assets. They can't sign all these prospects. they're going to start moving away from that draft lottery. So those first-round picks to them aren't as significant. And so they've got to start utilizing those assets in the correct manner, similar to what the Jazz just did in acquiring Jaren Jackson, right? Like, if there's a guy out there that, that maybe is playing for a team that's not going to work out as long, and he can match your timeline, and you feel okay about moving off of, one of your, bottom players and a prospect and a pick, that's the type of deal that I would anticipate, that Utah could make. I'm not saying that they will, but I would expect them to be active and to be looking around and seeing if there's anybody that they can't add to this roster to bolster their chances of making the playoffs.
Team USA fires it up tomorrow against Sweden at 1:30 here Mountain Time, and so lots of. I like the tournament too because they're playing like pretty late into the evenings. For them, right? You're going to 10:30, 11 o'clock at night for these games, and it's great for us because it's actually. If you want to get up and watch the skiing events, see you at 2 in the morning. So this is a good one for us because it's in the middle of the regular part of the day for us to be able to watch. Cole Bagley, of course, our Utah Mammoth insider for KSLSports.com, joining us courtesy of the good folks at Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together. Cole, we'll chat with you again, man. We're excited for Team USA and for the Mammoth, all of it, man. Thanks for keeping us dialed in.
Yeah, keep that Freebird coming on those intros.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Top 5 rock song of all time. Agree or disagree?
Yes, sir. It's good stuff. That's a song I know. I might be young, but that's a song that I know.
Look at that. Okay. Stop it with the you're old and I'm young stuff, all right?
Nice dig at the end.
You were this close.
It's called a chirp, boys.
I know.
I got it.
Chuck is chirping.
You were this close.
Chirp.
That's the way you're going to leave us?
I love it. Cole,
absolutely.
Have a great week, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again.
Have a good one, fellas.
There you go.
Thanks,
now,
Cole, for
by the
ruining
way,
my day.
he is a guy. He's in that age range of guys who would definitely beat all of us at Guitar Hero. Come on. It's wild. We got to get to a break here. Yeah, I didn't think about it. Everybody's got to deal with the coming back from the tournament thing, but the Avalanche, their 2 best players.
The best teams will be the most effective.
Just go to overtime with Team USA in the gold medal game, and everybody needs to be just absolutely wasted at the end of this tournament, and then you go, boom. Mammoth are at the advantage there because
and Clayton Keller hasn't played a lot of minutes. He may be fresh and ready to go for that Wednesday game.
He will be.
Sneak a couple points against the Avalanche at home. Why not?
I wonder if Cools is actually on target
Sounds
to come
good.
right back.
No restrictions, 8 days out.
I
think he's going to be able to play.
It'll be telling when we start to get a little bit closer, and then we see those official injury reports, and then boom, see Cools back on the ice will be really great for that run. If they were in the Pacific Division, by the way, of the Western Conference, they'd be tied with the Edmonton Oilers for second place.
Yeah.
That's how friggin' wild the...
Would you rather play the Golden Knights in the first round or the Seattle Kraken? That would have been their option. But they don't have that option because they are 13 points behind the Dallas Stars.
Who are in second.
For the third place in the Central.
Oh, third place.
Wow, they're actually ahead of the Stars.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
77.
And I think and the Avalanche cracked the 80-point mark before
the
Olympic break. So
83 points. They've kind of taken their foot off the gas, and they can. Actually, they're only 5 points ahead of the Wild.
Yeah, the Wild are playing great hockey.
Isn't that crazy that the Wild have gotten that close to them?
All right, here's what we're going to do. Take a break. We'll come back. We have, an NFL Blitz around the corner. Yeah, the NFL keeps rolling. And big-time move for one of the best wide receivers who's going to be on the market. I don't wonder how good he still is, but we'll talk about the Tyreek Hill situation and all the things that the Dolphins are going through right now to move in a very different direction. So stay here, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. You know what that music means. NFL Blitz on the program. And it's also time for us to tell you that the University of Utah Health sponsors this portion of the program. University of Utah Health, hope is in our DNA. Learn more at uofuhealth.org. That's uofuhealth.org. University of Utah, for you, for life. Tyreek Hill got released, or got waived over the weekend.
No surprise.
Not a surprise. I was also I watched some of these. I told you I saw some futures on. Not that I look into this stuff. It just popped up. Okay?
Sure.
I don't have a guy that I call.
Sure.
All right. There are a lot of people who think that that Tua will likely also be on the market and will end up as the starting quarterback not anybody's, frankly, Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals.
As they probably likely will shop around young Kyler Murray.
If you're getting off Kyler Murray, why would you get on Tua?
I think that they just wanted some kind of something solid, which I don't think you get with Tua, but I
if
think they
Tua's
do.
100% at his best with the right pairing
Yeah,
of
100,
coach,
102 QBR, like it's really good over the
he
past
had a
3 years.
special year, which got him that extension.
Yeah, but last year threw 18 picks or whatever it was.
He's just been so battered.
Lost the job to
So beat up.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's going to look like, but the Dolphins have officially moved into Saints territory of let's start losing some football games, y'all.
Who's the top quarterback in the 2026 draft?
Oh, it's got to be the Arch.
Or 2027, I should say.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I know the 2026, that's Fernando Mendoza, but he's going to be a Raider.
He's going to be a Raider. I cannot imagine a more clean cut.
Raiders.
I love the tradition here that Mr. Davis has created.
Yes.
Just the funniest thing. Please. I want it. Bring some
I'm committed to excellence.
yeah, bring some positive vibes to Raiderland.
Well,
to
I think
Raider
he's
Nation.
exactly what the Raiders need.
I don't know how good of a football player he is, to be honest.
We'll find out.
I know. I'm not saying. he won the
you
Heisman.
watched Tua in college. What did you expect Tua to be when he got in the pros?
Yeah, a lot better.
Well, if you actually thought about it, he didn't get better at Alabama.
No, it's true.
And then he got hurt really bad.
Yeah.
It was kind of a sign of things to come.
Well, so
But you've seen the dramatic improvement of Fernando Mendoza over the years. I think he's going to get better.
yeah. Shifting around for these jobs in the NFC West, by the way. So here's how it goes. You have the Seahawks who are now going to be getting Brian Fleury, he's going to be the new offensive coordinator, of course, because their offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak.
Yep.
Gosh, I was like, every important.
He's now the head coach of the Raiders.
And so that had to be shifted around. And so I always love when you steal a coach from one of your other. So I think he was the passing game
and
coordinator.
late in the cycle too.
Oh, no, he's a run game coordinator for the 49ers, which is great because bringing a guy who's run heavy or the run first kind of guy, they got a great backfield, and they have a really good quarterback.
Well,
but he's not the best. He's top 15.
What's going to happen to Kenneth Walker?
Don't know what's going to happen with that guy.
And
They're not going to tag him.
Charbonnet has an ACL. He's not going to be ready to start the season.
Well, he doesn't have an ACL. That's the problem. He has an ACL. He's out. Him and Lindsey Vaughn, they're like, I lost it. Do you know where it is?
It's completely obliterated.
Excuse me.
It is
gone.
vaporized.
They looked and it left. So there you go. The trading around of coaches is always going on. It's always good. Now, this one was really funny. Remember how I'm actually pissed about this because the NFL and the grades that they get by the Players Association from the anonymous players that they poll, the NFLPA.
Yes.
And the NFLPA keeps these teams kind of honest because it's like, hey, the Chiefs are like, man, we got a great team. We have an awesome family here. The food is terrible. There are rats in the locker room. Like they get like an F for their facilities.
You find out
like
the
that.
world champions aren't acting like world champions.
Right. And so, lo and behold, after years of being ridiculed, these owners do not like being called out. This is the exact reason why they did it. And the NFL actually won its grievance against the NFL Players Association, so they can't publish the player report cards. Now, it'll be circulated in the league, but that's no fun. I want to know who has rings in the toilet that they haven't cleaned yet.
Why doesn't the league own that? Why are they trying to hide?
I want to know.
These owners, man, they're ultra sensitive in the NFL.
There's mold on the sandwiches that we got from the lunch boxes.
Jerry and Woody Johnson, they don't like criticism.
Yeah,
I'm sure the Hunt family doesn't like it either.
But that's the reason it doesn't have teeth when the other. You can grade it, and then the other players read it, and they go, "Okay." It's not about that. It's about exposing these teams that are getting billions of dollars in revenue shares from the league, or at the very least, those billions of dollars are turned into hundreds and hundreds of millions. And I know it's a shock, JJ, but these teams are operating in the black.
Yeah.
College football teams and athletic departments are studying the NFL guys very closely and trying to notice what's their secret. Well, it's the most important thing that people are watching on TV across the
Shared
land.
revenue. That helps.
Yes.
Obviously.
Anyway, bottom line is I'm bummed because then we won't. Just leak it. Can we just leak it? I guarantee.
Somebody will. Just let it happen.
They have to. They have to do it. Because you don't leak it, then we're not going to be able to see the grades, and then we can't call out your owners to get better. Because I guarantee you what happened was they at least put some rat traps out in the Chiefs' locker room after all that. Hey, we should probably put some of these poison pellets in the corner here in Patrick's locker. He's been getting some mice. Like, that's weird, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, the NFLPA doesn't feel like it has a lot of teeth sometimes, and this is why. I think they're the union that gets pushed around the most of all the professional unions that are trying to be partners with their professional leagues. I think the NFLPA gets pushed around quite a bit. So, wish it was a little bit better for the sake of the coaches. Yeah, but what will happen to Kenneth Walker III, because it looks like the Seahawks are not going to use a franchise tag on their Super Bowl MVP. You know how this goes, JJ. The MVP or whomever, really great players on awesome teams, they win a Super Bowl, and then they go get paid somewhere else.
Yeah, and it usually doesn't work out very well for them. Grass isn't always greener.
No, for sure.
But that's the league and that's the business. You gotta go where the money is, especially a running back whose lifespan is short. And Kenneth Walker's already had his share of injuries. So, Kenneth Walker, go get that bag. You'll always be a Super Bowl champion. You'll always be an MVP, and I'm sure Seahawks fans will always love you, but go get paid.
Yeah, I always hate to see it all. I mean, I was a kid when Larry Brown turned his NFL MVP or his Super Bowl MVP into a bunch of money. Who was the team that he went to that really blew it? Any recollection? It was it's the Raiders. He goes to the Raiders. They pay him all this money, and then he sucked. Joke's on them. And I remember watching it. We were all watching it happen, and we're like, everybody knows who watches these Cowboy games every week. They're like, Larry Brown's not that good.
Right.
Doesn't matter. NFL Super Bowl MVP and 2 picks against Neil O'Donnell. And there you go. So he wasn't actually that good. And it ended up being worse for him. And he got cut, I think, 2 years after. All right. I told you that Derek Carr is kicking around the idea of coming back. He says he will go to a Super Bowl contender.
Oh.
I will unretire if I can go to a Super Bowl contender.
And who is that?
The thing is like, just look at the Seahawks and what we were talking about with that team last year. We were not saying Super Bowl contender. We were saying second or third in the NFC West.
I didn't think they would make the playoffs. That's fair.
Like I was going to be ecstatic if they would go 8-9 on the season. Oh, good. They can put something together here. They got this young core. Darnold, I think he's okay. He can stick it together, or maybe he leaves and goes to another team and they get some other guy.
If Aaron Rodgers retires, do the Steelers go after him? Do the Colts go after him temporarily?
Oddsmakers also have Aaron Rodgers as the guy in Pittsburgh. They think it's going to happen again.
Okay.
I don't think he'll be able to give it up either.
I'm just looking for a team for. Is it the Vikings?
That's what they said. Vikings. That was one of the teams mentioned. Yes, the Vikings are mentioned. But how much of a Super Bowl contender are they? Because they won. How many games did they win this year?
9. They went 9-8.
Okay, they were 14-3 the year before.
They're only half game away from making the playoffs.
But J.J. McCarthy does not give you a chance to win. He might be the worst quarterback in the league. Is that mean to say? Is that inaccurate?
It wasn't last year.
No, his numbers
among
were
starters.
Yes. The worst of all the starters in the NFL. Maybe dealt with some injuries and blah, blah, blah over the first part of his career here, but man. Justin Fields?
Fair enough, but I mean, the Jets don't matter.
You know, it was interesting.
No one cares.
Hey, same people put Kyler Murray on that Jets team. Dude, I think it's because they would just try it. They would fail upward again.
Who wants to be the quarterback of the Jets at this point?
I don't know. Not
who's signing up for that?
Not what's his name, who basically went to court to try to avoid it. right?
Yeah.
It was, who was it? It was the dude who got the extra year to Chambliss.
Yeah.
Trinidad Chambliss. He's like, peace out. I'm not going to the Jets. Joke's on him. He'll be the second pick next year, and he'll go to the Jets.
Yep.
So there you go. All right. We'll come back, and we'll get to our best and worst, and we'll wrap it up there. I got some tickets, though. It's a Jazz Ticket Tuesday. You know what that means. Get those phones ready. Let's get some tickets here. Annapolis?
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, and your chance to win tickets is right now.
Call this number now.
Call this number now.
Be caller number 12 at 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-ZONE. And you'll be on your way to Delta Center to see the Utah Jazz.
He fires the three. He hits. Oh, don't do me like that.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE, 801-575-9663. That gets you a pair of tickets to see the Jazz back in action again at Delta Center, taking on the Pelicans on the 26th. So that's next, next Thursday. There you go. So dial it up. Tell Alex Annapolis that you appreciate all he's doing. He provided these tickets by himself, just out of the goodness of his heart. So there you go, 801-575-ZONE. You know what's disappointing to explain to kids, JJ?
What's that?
That the gold medals aren't like anywhere near all gold.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the most important.
Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah.
That they're just kind
But-
of gold plated.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let's look it up. So gold medal, actual medal makeup. Okay. Let's see here. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's it looks like it's 6 grams of 24 karat gold, and the rest is filled with peanut butter. I did see those Hershey's ones. Did you see that? I actually wanted that more than an actual medal.
Yeah, I saw the
I was
ads.
like, gosh, where am I getting that? Do they have those for sale?
Solid milk
They
chocolate.
better. Anyway, actually kind of shocked. If you win the gold medal, you're actually winning a silver medal. It's 92% silver. Isn't that wild?
Oh, the irony.
So, yeah. I don't know if
How much?
Yeah.
What's the estimated cost?
well, if it's 92% silver, I don't know if you know this, but silver has gone up a ton this year.
Really?
Massive amount. So they say that the actual value, the typical gold medal for the Paris Games weighed around 529 grams. That's over a pound. And with the total material value ranging between $850 to $1,000. So
That's it.
I bet if you go on eBay right now, you could probably find somebody selling an Olympic medal, and which is sad because let me see here. I've seen them for sale before.
Yeah,
and
the raw metal's worth around $2,300.
Yeah, and it's because silver has gone up so much.
That's crazy.
So there you go. Yeah, it's sad when you see people actually out there selling their actual gold
Only
medal.
6 grams of gold plating.
I
It really
know.
is like the
I
candy
told you,
wrapper
you
you,
actually-
put on the chocolate.
I know. You're actually winning a silver medal. Congrats.
That's funny.
Yeah. Did you see, by the way, I'm going to sneak in a best here on our best and worst. The Ukrainian, was it skeleton or was it luge? It was luge. The Ukrainian luge participant who was DQ'd for not changing his helmet that was honoring a lot of fallen
Yes.
Ukrainian Olympians.
Yes.
And man, he stood his ground. And the Olympic Committee hated making the decision. They kept saying it. We do not, it's with regret that we make this decision. And they disqualified him. An anonymous donor gave that young man $200,000 and said, you did the right thing. You stood up for yourself.
That's awesome.
You missed out on a massive life opportunity and took, regardless of what you think of the politics in the situation, whatever, putting athletes who have fallen in war on your helmet and they're your countrymen, that's pretty darn cool. And to be like, nope, I'm standing up for these people. Changing my helmet, I can't do it because of these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Stupid.
yeah. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We will do a best and worst next. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. as JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone, last segment of the hour. Let me see here, JJ. Took care of some business before we get going here. Oh, yeah, Scotty's going to be on the road at Tim Daly Nissan at Southtown this Wednesday. 11155 South Jordan Gateway in South Jordan. Tim Daly, home of the Forever Warranty. We got the best and we got the worst. We got a couple. I tried to sneak in the best because I always like the positive stories, JJ. You know, I'm a more positive guy than I am.
Sure you are.
I'm a glass 1/3 full guy.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Okay, fine. Good drop, by the way. Phenomenal place to put Tim Robinson in.
You're not part of the Turbo team.
Oh my goodness! All I do is send JJ. I think you should leave clips over
That's
the weekend.
pretty much, if you looked at our entire
It's our only
text
relationship.
exchange, it's
Great.
just, I think you should leave clips.
And it's all welcome. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I love.
I look forward to it every day.
So, Wisconsin Green Bay head coach Doug Gottlieb, who, it sounds weird to even say that because he left his radio gig officially fully. He was doing the radio gig and the basketball. He decided that wasn't working out. Did not quit the basketball part. Stayed the head coach of Wisconsin Green Bay. Was not happy. We can't play it because it was quite filthy, quite spicy. Went on this massive rant demanding an explanation after a technical foul that he got, slamming his hands on the table, all that. I love it. Now, where's Wisconsin Green Bay this year when it comes to the standings? Let me see here, JJ. But you tell me.
I'm sure it's going really well for them.
I'm sure that's why. 15 and 13. I will say that actually is an improvement. Last year they were well in the red in the win-loss column, so they're above 500 this year.
The Green Bay Phoenix, maybe they'll win that tournament. The Horizon League.
Green Bay Phoenix sounds so weird. Come on down to Green Bay Phoenix. Unpainted Huffines. That's a Raising Arizona drop. I don't know why that came to mind, but
Our older fans.
yeah,
They got it.
Green Bay Phoenix. Yeah, so he went off on the rant, slammed his hands on the table, and I like the punchiness. All right.
Yeah.
So it snuck in there as one of the best.
I love the passion. Glad he cares.
Speaking of passion, Jerome Tang, man, he threw it all out there, calling out his players for not playing hard enough, not taking the responsibility of being K-State representatives on the basketball field or on the basketball court enough. They didn't take it to heart enough. They're not playing. These dudes, some of them aren't going to be back on the court this year. These dudes, some of them, they don't want to win. And they don't represent K-State. And that's not what we're about. Well, K-State saw enough of that, and they said, well, you went a little bit too far. I know you were pumping us up, but you made us all look bad, and so they've fired Jerome Tang after 3 seasons.
If Kansas State was 23-4 and ranked in the top 25, do you think they would have fired Jerome Tang?
Absolutely not. But Jerome Tang also wouldn't have gone to the podium and said those things about his team if they were 23-4. Now, was he the coach that took him his first year when he was coaching them? Did they go? Was that the Elite Eight team? Or was that somebody else?
Jerome Tang came over from Baylor as an assistant. I'm trying to remember.
But do you remember when K-State went to
yeah.
the – I don't know if that was his first year. And I don't know if he was the guy who did it. But is that his first
you're
year?
right, yeah.
First year. So out of the gates, awesome. And then
2022. You're right.
And then they struggled last year. And this year they're abysmal. So that's not a good track record, but I felt bad because he was telling these kids, look, you call these kids out, by the way, and you're exactly right. There are also some guys who can get away with it forever. Rick Pitino, he can get up there and say, my guys are terrible, and then say, I love these guys the next press conference, and that's it. Tom Izzo.
St. John's isn't firing him.
Right,
Tom
right.
Izzo does the same stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing out of the ordinary that Jerome Tang did that'd be like, oh, my gosh, he's going to be lucky to have a job on Monday. I don't know the guy. I have no idea, how maybe there's some things behind the scenes, but ultimately I think they just Kansas State saw an opportunity to fire him, and now they're going to try to do it with Kaz, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bonkers. They'll have to pay him. I hope they do. All right. We'll be back next hour. Stay here. Stay dialed in. 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.